Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Sorry for the trash uploads yesterday. I had to come up with something quick, the random one. I'm a bad YouTuber. I had to make some quick content, and I was chilling with the family. Chill, went over their house, whatever, was hanging out, blah blah blah. Right? You know the flex during the summer. But today we're gonna have a review for FIFA 19. I don't know how long this video will be. Hopefully, it's like around probably 12, because you guys know when I ramble, I just keep going and going and going. And hopefully I don't cross that line, because you guys know once I cross that line, I just go on the other side and it's over for me. But today is going to be a review for FIFA 19, a year in the review, I guess, right? Because the game is pretty much done. It was done, I would say, for me personally, I saw it like 9 months ago. But in general, it wasn't really done 9 months ago. I think it's still not done, actually, because the people who are addicted to this game still continue to play it. So they still have their player base, as much as people say it's dead or not. It's dead in regards to it being an awful game, sure, but not actually dead, right? But let's check out the specifics, right? I don't want to brush up on too many things because you guys have seen my videos. If you guys want to know my year in review quick times, you guys, if any of you guys watched my FIFA 19 rant video that I did 2 weeks into the game, if you guys watched it already, you guys don't really need to watch this, okay? If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like the video if you guys do enjoy it by the end of it, of course. Don't have to like it now. You don't know if you're gonna like this, right? But let's do the review, right, guys? So let's start off with the menu content, right? So let's just take into consideration that you spend $80 on the game, right? It's Canadian at the very least. In American, it's probably cheaper. In a European, it's probably different too, right? Not cheaper, it's different. But $80 for FIFA, right? Guys, I don't pay $80 for a video game to stay in the menus all day. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and just you guys know exactly how I am. I don't care. I say what I say. I don't think it's a matter of opinion to say that FIFA is a good game if you don't play the gameplay, because the whole point of playing a video game is to play the gameplay. When you play mobile games, you play video games in general, you don't sit in the menus all day trying to collect your skins and stuff. You play the actual game, right? Which I don't blame the FIFA community for, because this year's game is the worst video game of all time in regards to gameplay. I really stress in regards to gameplay and gameplay content, but not menu content, okay? But yeah, it's definitely the worst video game of all time. I don't blame the community for liking to only watch menu stuff, because people treat it like a Panini trading card game nowadays, which I understand, but I don't agree with. Because, again, like I said, I don't think buying a video game for $80 to only do menu stuff makes sense. I'll just go download the mobile game and then collect the cards over there. That makes the most sense, right? Because the whole point of getting new cards is to try them out and play with them, right? Even if you play like 5 games a day, there's people that have not touched gameplay, honestly. And like I know people that haven't touched the gameplay in like 4 or 5 weeks, 2 months, and they've just been doing menu stuff constantly, right? So the EA definitely has people hooked in regards to that, which is a great start, obviously, right? Their menu content, I would give this year, honestly, a solid like 7.5. The only reason why I'm giving them a 7.5 is because the relation to gameplay content to menu content is terrible, right? Because of the way that the rewarding system works. You don't really get rewarded every single day. First of all, you gotta wait a full week to get the rewards for division rivals, and then you get your rewards weekly as well from foot champs. But you gotta be able to do stuff daily to get your rewards to do other stuff, right? Because being stagnant for a full week is just idiotic, right? You guys know me, I'm honest. I use these words. But the menu content's been 7.5. 7.5 because the gameplay content in relation to menu content isn't good. 7.5 because some of the SBCs were absolutely ridiculous. Some of the SBCs near the end of the year as well, the players cost way too much money. It's the end of the year. Who cares, right? Make the players affordable. When it's the last like 2 months, maybe not. You could even push it to 3 months, right? But when it's 2 or 3 months, just make the SBCs. If you release a Perisic, make them 200K. If you release a Fred card, make them 150K. If that makes sense, right? Because in the middle and the beginning of the year, if they're a certain price, sure, sometimes they're still way overpriced for the quality of the card, because this game is super meta oriented. So Yeah, some of their SBCs were hit or miss. Their foot miss SBCs were kind of good. They did release a couple of cards that never really got informs this year. I think Matuidi didn't get an inform this year. They gave him one. They gave Arias one. Arias only got a new card for the pink cards, the footies cards. So that was only recently, right? But with Matuidi's card here, I don't think Matuidi actually... I know he actually might have one inform card. I could be mistaken. Only the Champions League card. So I think his foot miss one was 2 ratings higher, if I'm not mistaken. So they released good cards. They released Arias, which is good. Patrick Van Aanholt was a very solid one. Could have gotten the footies, like he could have gotten another promo for the fun concept because Patrick Van Aanholt is a FIFA player. You know what I'm saying? When I say that a card is a FIFA player, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the Doombias, the Barbos, the Dedes, like FIFA players, right? Those dudes that might not be great in real life, but in FIFA they're pretty awesome, right? Yeah, that's with the foot miss SBC was pretty solid. The Halloween SBC they were inconsistent with. I think some of the stats that they kept the cards on when they never gave them new cards, they should have made them more meta-oriented. They did that with Sergio Busquets, which is awesome because he had a great card, super usable. One of the best midfielders in the world. It was super fun to use him in the draft. I didn't get him in my regular team because I hate the gameplay, but generally speaking, that SBC was cool with the Halloween, but it wasn't cool all the time. Some of the cards they gave had absolutely terrible stats, and they weren't really going to go anywhere because the stats that they upgraded weren't that relevant, right? Like Shaqiri, I think Shaqiri at some point got I believe it wasn't pace because his pace is 81. 81 is way too low nowadays, right? But if I search up his special cards, you can see here that the things that they gave him is dribbling and physical. Dribbling with Shaqiri's cards not really a relevant thing to do because of the fact that he's already super small and his dribbling was kind of solid before. And the physical wouldn't have been that crazy either. The thing that you got to give these cards, because there's no footies, there's no new cards out in the future, is you got to give them the pace and the shooting, and you got to keep it like that because focusing on the meta, if a player already has like 90 pace, 87 shooting, then give him something crazy when he's an attacker. Like give him like 99 defending and 90 passing, or 99 dribbling when he's already good at dribbling with 99 defending, or whatever it is, and then physical be 60, or you know what I'm saying? Like they have to kind of like focus on that a little bit, right? But it was okay. Halloween SBC was all right. Team of the Year SBCs, I'm not going to talk too much about, right, the menu content in regards to that, because as you guys know, I wasn't on that much this year, right, because I hated the game so much, gameplay-wise, and gameplay content-wise, and we'll get into a bit. So I think the people that would be the people that you would listen to the most when it comes to menu content would be Nick. And Nick's done plenty of rants about the menu content. EA just missing the ball completely, and just people in general. Even Nep's done it before too. So that's not the stuff that I'm going to talk about, right? Not too much, but I'd give it a 7.5 from the stuff that I have seen. Don't know what you guys would do it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would give it. So let's get into the juicy part, the part that Mr. Inception talked about all year, right? The two main cores of video games, not necessarily just the football concept, but the two main cores of video games, right? And that is the gameplay and the gameplay content, right? Gameplay content, if you don't have gameplay content, your gameplay stuff isn't as interesting, right? When you play Call of Duty, you aim for headshots, you aim for a certain amount of kills, you aim for frenzy kills, blah, 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 blah. You try to aim for all those challenges as you're playing, right? It makes it more interesting. Win a certain amount of search and destroy matches, blah, 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 right? The gameplay content this year was a complete miss, right? Reason being is because you have a concept in Division Rivals which has a beautiful concept. There was so much potential with this game mode, and they missed the ball because they still added foot champs. And I'll give you guys my opinion of what I think about all this stuff too, blah, 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 right? So let's take a look at Division Rivals. So right now, as you guys can see, once I lower this, I'm at 2447, right? I linger around that general area because once you get to that general area, right, you kind of need a better team. This is definitely not what I was using. I need to actually sell these players because I was doing the MLS thing, which I didn't finish because I didn't really care about this game, right? But this is the team that I was using, right? And obviously, you will never in your entire life see a team like this at 2400 plus. 2400 plus is incredibly, incredibly boring because everyone has the same team. But, big But this competitive system for weekly rewards is amazing. I love it, okay? Maybe they could open the matchmaking a little bit. And now I'm going to explain to you, it's not amazing for the way the game is currently set up. More amazing for the concept that it could be, if that makes sense, right? So let's just take into consideration, right, that I'm in Division 1 and I have 2447 skill rating, right? Okay. If I did this, right? If I did this and I got my skill points and I was playing competitive players, right? I am totally cool with this game mode only being the pure meta, right? Again, you never come across fun. Once you're 2400 plus, you will never, ever, ever come across fun teams. It's always the Hullets, the Patrick Vieiras, the Ronaldos, the Neymars, all that stuff, right? And I am totally cool with that if this is your competitive mode. You know why? Because you have a concept where when you lose, you're still gaining points. So if you're playing every single day, right, and you have to play competitive FIFA and you get rank 1, right, your SR doesn't matter, right? Because when they had the SRs the way they had it set up before, where the highest rank was 2400, not 1900, which is ridiculous, right? When they had it at 2400, give rewards separately for the 24s, whatever it was before, right? 24s, I think it was like 18 and 21, 18, 21, 24, right? Do that. And then be like Overwatch, where you have top 500, right? Because when you do that, that concept makes this game mode more interesting, because obviously people who are in Division 1 2400 plus already pretty well. I'm not going to say it for this year's game, because this year's game is completely broken. Anyone who thinks there's a skill gap in this game from abusing these garbage mechanics, God bless your soul, right? But the skill of being in 2400 plus, right, playing good FIFA, whatever it is, you know, you still get rewarded for it. And if you're jumping up and down between 2400, because the thing is, right, is that when you hit 2400, right, you don't get relegated to the next rank when you're 20. If you lose a match and you're like 2395, or you don't lose the rank yet. You have to lose like 2 or 3 matches still. But so you're still in that rank for that week until you refresh the week and you're no longer in that division based off of what the game's calculation is, right? So if I was 2395 or whatever, and I'm getting that my rank and I'm getting my rewards from Division 1, rank 1, bam, you got a crazy concept for weekly, right? You got a crazy concept. You can try to aim for top 500 like Overwatch has. I think 500 is an awesome number, right? So many people miss out on the rewards based off of skill rating, the matchmaking, right? There's people who can go on weekend league going like 18 and 12, and then the next weekend they could go 26 and 4, right? So it's like, you know, but that's also because of the game's mechanics and stuff, right? But yeah, this concept needs to be scratched. The 1900 stuff, you need to award your players accordingly through your competitive game. Now, people are going to think Inception, but if they did that, this game would be even worse. Again, I really stress the fact that this concept should only exist in a proper video game, right? Because this should be your competitive. Foot champs should not ever have been added into this game. What a terrible concept. I'm sorry for whoever made it, but in my opinion, it's dog shit, okay? Because the concept of 30 games in 3 days, anyone who wants to grind the game has no problem with playing 10 games each day. Soft, right? But the thing is, right, is that it's the concept that you have a time frame and an amount of games to play to get specific rewards that is absolutely dog shit, okay? Because listen, if you have these ranks into division rivals, if you lose a bullshit game, which is still going to be very possible next year, no matter what, because it's football, right? It happens. But if you lose, guess what? It's not going to anger you that much, because the game is going to revolve around skill rating for division rivals for your competitive game mode, more than it is like, oh, you lost a bullshit game, you disconnected? Well, too fucking bad for you. Now that affected the rest of your foot champs. So this game mode right here is dog shit. If you put the rewards from foot champs into division rivals, that is way better. Now, you take out foot champs, what do you put in that little gap right there, right? You put online tournament mode, right? What do you do with online tournament mode? You have open matchmaking. Every game in this world has that concept, right? Call of Duty, CSGO, all these games. CSGO, you don't have to play competitive. You can just play the casual and match up with any type of player, right? You don't have to always play competitive, right? In this game, having an division rivals, awesome, right? But if you had the tournament mode where you had the 3 qualifying games and then you have the matchmaking set to the quarters, semis, and the finals for the 3 games, boom, you get your rewards through the 3 qualifying games, you get your rewards for winning the whole thing, and guess what? You have something to look forward to for a full week of playing FIFA, and then you have something to look forward to every single day you grind that game mode and collect more and more and more coins through gameplay content. And with that there, you have your challenges, your this, your that, with goals, assists, clean sheets, blah, 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 through gameplay content, not through squad battles, not through single player shit, right? Not through online single matches, through the tournament mode. Hey, try to score this many goals with this French players. And then you can make some players a little bit harder to get, where the crazy players can get it, and then it takes a little bit longer for the lower players to get it. That's what they do in Call of Duty. There's so many things that are crazy in that game that's not easily attainable, but still attainable, right? Drafts, you gotta do something with drafts. Because the fact that I'm betting money on myself to not get money back, or more money than the money I spent, is absolutely idiotic, okay? So, you can see with the gameplay balance, right, from what I envisioned to what it is terrible. Because what it is this, right? What's the only game mode you can play that actually gives you rewards? Division Rivals, correct? If you're 2400 plus, I would honestly say 2100 plus. Good luck having fun in this game, because everyone is going to just abuse the mechanics of the game, play meta, blah blah blah, which is fine, like I said, if it is separate. But I'm explaining to this the way it currently works out, right? It is the only game mode you can play for free, right? So it's terrible. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know who thought of this, right? It's stupid. Right? You're 2400 plus. I keep saying right, sorry. It's just because my brain is processing boom, you know? But Division Rivals it was terribly done for this year's game. It's the concept I've always wanted, but it was terribly executed for this year's game. Because people relegate themselves, right? There's people that are like 2600 skill rating tiered player, and they'll relegate themselves to 2000 just to face competent but have fun. You know, that's what happens in video games. In video games, this is the concept. Low tier players get shit on by the high tier players and learn as they climb from low tier, mid tier, somewhat good tier, great tier, right? And then the players that are really good at the game have fun crapping on the small players. But that concept exists in any video game, right? So in this concept, you have competitive and division rivals, and God forbid your worst game mode ever added is the one that has more casual FIFA in your first 10 games. Your first 10 games are actually like, you know, because you face competent players. I'm not saying I want to face absolutely terrible players. Fuck that. No. I'm saying competent. Competent for me is if you're like 1700 plus. You know what I'm saying? Competent is fun, and that's what in Foot Champs, that's what it is. You're facing competent players, right? A player, sometimes you'll destroy people like 6-0, but they're competent. You're just significantly better than them. There's a thing there, right? But in Foot Champs, God forbid, people are okay with this game mode. I fucking hate it with the deepest passion. I think it's idiotic. I think for the video game concept, it's terrible, should never have been added, right? But that's your concept right now. You have your 30 games, and then after you surpass a certain amount of games or wins, it's terrible, right? The concept is just, it's really, really bad. And then drafts is just, you pay 15K, you lose your money. The amount of money I've lost this year without actually getting gameplay content, because they don't give you coins for shit. You have to wait a full week to get rewards that are still garbage, right? And you'll lose your money in drafts. You'll win, oh, well, there goes all my money. No money for me. And then you'll lose, and they'll give you like a draft token. It's just, bro, I can't tell you guys enough how many times I'll lose in like the first round or the third round, and then it'll give me like something crazy. And it's just like, bro, you know? So yeah, in relation to gameplay content to menu content, it doesn't translate well, right? This game could be addicting because I'm gonna be honest, the menu content is really good. It's a 7.5. That's for me. You guys know how I rate the games, right? A 7.5 is pretty solid, right? It's just that this and this and this, the balance between your gameplay content and the rewards you get in relation to your SBC content was absolute dog shit. And then last but not least, which I'm gonna just brush up upon because you guys know how I feel about this game. Your gameplay. I thought your gameplay last year was the worst game I've ever played. But this year, I don't know how you guys fucked it up that bad. The gameplay this year, I never want to experience ever again. A logical, idiotic gameplay. Okay? Rewards absolute dumbasses doing stupid shit. Okay? Let's make your game logical next year, please. Okay? The gameplay stuff, everything sucked about it except for dynamic formations. You know, chat, listen, they're probably going to keep chemistry styles the exact same way. It's probably going to be the exact same thing where it's like, okay, you have to have a preset formation and then in game you could switch to whatever you want. I don't mind that, okay? I literally do not mind that. What I do mind is that they have to make more players usable. Like, you guys know I love Quidditch. I love that guy with all my heart. It's my favorite player, right? You got to give a right back, right? That gives them the chemistry so I can use them in a team because all I need is just one legend to give them a nice little soft link and then boom, Quaresma gets linked. If I don't want to use icons, at least give me a right back from Besiktas or something that's like usable, right? And I mentioned all this stuff to them in their face, guys. You guys know me. I'm not gonna. Nah, I mentioned all of it. I was very like strict with it, right? Very lenient, man. Oh, the conversation. I think people got annoyed with me at some point because I was talking so much, but yeah, man, it's this game was really shit. Really shit. This year for viewers, for content creators, it was heavily revolved around menu content. And if you didn't do menu content, even on my channel, you guys can see when I do menu content, I'll get views. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the type of stuff that I want to make. I want to do content where it's like, you know, get a player through gameplay, try him out, make the video like that. Boom, boom, boom. That's what video games should be about. That's what Fortnite's about. That's what Call of Duty's about. It's not just like, oh, well, let me just go in the menus and then, oh, open the skins and then, oh, I'm done. You know, like, no. If you go to Nick Merckx's channel, what does he do? Gameplay, right? Has some fun with his friends and stuff. Whatever, right? That's pretty much it. It's already 22 minutes. I don't want to surpass that. You guys know I'm a blabbermouth with this kind of stuff. EA, I never want to see a video game ever like this ever again in my entire life. Your inconsistent gameplay, I know for a fact, is not going to be fixed next year. But let's try to make your bad gameplay at least playable so that your gameplay content, menu content, and all that stuff is really well balanced between all of them. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're almost at 50K subscribers on the channel, so you guys are beautiful. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.